elevate to where the next step that you're meant to be will take you. I will lead you. And that's where a lot of times we even get lost in this idea that, because even if you think if we want something more, that means I'm separate from it.
Mm-hmm.
Because if I'm truly in my oneness energy, my higher expression of self vibration,
Mm-hmm.
there is no want, there is no desire. It just is. So when I get back into the truth of who I am, I just want to be happy where I am. I want to be grateful where I am. I want to be in love where I am. And then that's where that energy will move you into the next step. So I wanted to touch on
Mm-hmm.
that because I feel like a lot of times we either lack the awareness or we forget that everything is divinely, this universe, it just operates by law. Like there's nothing, we have the man made laws that can be broken by systems that are corrupt and wanted to control, but this universe is forever expanding, forever evolving. And it literally is already happening. This universe has been around for 14 point now, like 8 billion years.
According to human understanding.
According to human understanding. So what we're experiencing was going to be happening regardless. And we think we have the power. Like, I want this to be this way. I want this to be that way. And the universe is like, it's going to be what it's going to be because it is what it is.
It already is what
It
it
already
is.
is. And that's where we think we have control
Mm.
over things outside of ourselves. And that's the wall that we keep running into.
Mm.
Because the control I have is, am I using my imagination? I shared in my story how I attracted a photographer because I've been in this playful, curious energy lately about things that I want to experience.
Mm-hmm.
Not that I'm trying to force them or even make them happy. I'm just curious, like, oh, I wonder how it'd be to get back in front of the camera,
Mm-hmm.
to use this gift that I don't really like that's been sitting on the shelf, and I just leave it there.
Mm-hmm.
And I attracted a photographer who's like, hey, I want to shoot you. Hey. And I see this person all the time. We always are in exchange. I've just been honestly closed off because I'm like, okay, I don't want to talk. I don't want to. So I've been closing myself from receiving gifts because I am not wanting to be social, wanting to be interactive and be friendly. But once you get out of your head and you just open your heart, life is always like, oh, here, take this, take that, take this.
Mm-hmm.
And it gives you so much. But a lot of times we can't hold it or even catch it because we're holding on to the past.
Mm-hmm.
We're holding on to the belief. We're holding on to the story. And life is throwing, but we're like, oh, I ain't got room. Oh, I ain't got room. Oop, oop. And we drop it. Oh, it wasn't meant for me.
Mm.
It wasn't the right time. No, it was meant for you. It was the right time. You just need to let go of what you keep holding on to.
Mm.
And what we keep holding on to 10 out of 10 times is what we think we're not, what we think we need to do, why we think we should do it, why we aren't where we want to be. We're holding on. So the universe is like, okay, I can't give you what is in alignment with you because you're still holding on. Let go.
Mm.
And when we let go, we see that there's so much we've always had access to
Mhm.
because it's first created in the mind. This mind that we have the privilege of experiencing has infinite possibilities. There's infinite creations that can come from the mind. We're experiencing them right now. This phone, computer, chairs, desk,
Mhm.
library. These was all creations that someone had a thought of.
Mhm.
And we have the ability to experience it. So I share all this to say that a lot of times we don't want to allow ourselves to receive what really wants to come in because we're too attached to who we know ourselves to be.
Mhm.
And it's hard to reflect on where you are and be grateful for it, for connection. Boom. To be grateful for it when you're still judging where you are. And just know like life is our needs are always met. And I want to share this quick story. I had an experience what's today, Saturday, yesterday, at the gym with someone. Their birthday's coming up next week. They're gonna be 49. and they were sharing like how they are transitioning jobs, and they've been a general manager for a restaurant or a bar for like over 10 years, and how they want to go to another bar or another place. And I'm like, okay, so what's the next thing for you? You have a new chapter coming up. Like, what's the next thing? I just want to change. Like, I just need a new environment. It's going to be the same industry, but a new environment.
Mm.
And y'all, when I tell you, I had this, I know when it's my words that I'm trying to tell, and when there's words bigger than me, higher than me, because I can't hold them in. But I always have to ask, may I relay this message to you? Because it's not my place to put my 2 cents or even give something where someone's not trying to receive. They're holding on to what they think they know. And I was like, sure. And the message just came strong, like, it's time to trust your wings.
Mm.
It's time to know that like you want to do more, and there's more that you're not allowing yourself to receive because you're stuck in the comfort of what you know. Going to the next job is not going to be the solution because you're going to carry the same problem.
Mm.
And they were like, there's going to be more money. And I had to remind them, you are the money.
Mhm.
There is no more. It's only you. And you can vibrate at a higher frequency that allows more to flow in. But you are the money. And a lot of times we're chasing the money, thinking it's in the location or the situation, but we bring the energy.
Mhm.
We bring it. And a lot of times, for me, that was me. I ran from one job to the next job. Like, oh, I'm tired of this. I need to go to this. 'Cause I know this is going to be a better environment, better place, better money, same situation, just in a different location.
Mm.
And then I ran to another one. Oh, this is going to be the one. I was running
Mhm.
to the same damn stop.
Mm.
And I had to get off the bus and just take a walk and be with myself to see, like, right now, these jobs are not what you want. You want to express more, you want to give more, you want to serve more. And you're limiting yourself with what you are stuck in and thinking that this is going to be the solution. And even as an entrepreneur, I've had times where I've made the most money I've ever made in my life. And I've been the brokest I've been in my life. And it's been different roller coaster rides on this journey that I've gotten on, gotten off, gotten on, gotten off. But one thing I can say that it's taught me is that I am truly a creator because when I allow myself to be in that space of openness, creations flow through me.
Mm.
And what I've learned is if you truly just take action with a little bit of belief, how they say in the faith is small as a
Mustard
mustard
seed.
seed,
Mhm.
if you believe in yourself just as small as a mustard seed, you'll be surprised at the results that you can create.
Mm.
How many people will sign up to your programs? How many people will invest into your services? How many people are actually waiting for you to create so they can participate and play with you? But a
Mhm.
lot of people get lost in the instant gratification and the instant results that they want to see. And I had to humble myself in regards to different creations. Some I've had sold out, full house. Some has been maybe one, two, three.
Mm.
But what I know is whether it's one person that signs up, two people, 25, 30, you're going to get the same service because it's coming from that space of love, of excitement,
Mm.
of gratitude that you allowed me to be of service to share my gift with you. And even as I'm reflecting on my growth, there were times when I started this journey, I used to feel like I was a failure
Mm.
because I measured my success based on a number, based on the outcome. Versus if had an idea and I took action and made it come to life, that is success right there. Because not many people have that, I'm not going to say ability, but that will to do it.
Mm.
And if it didn't work and I get up and try again, that's success right there.
Mhm.
So I think we get so lost in the physicalness of the number, whether it's the signups, whether it's the revenue, versus if you let an idea come to life and be birthed through you, that's success. No matter how big it is or small, that's still something to be grateful for and to reflect and see. I know Helen's who's here, she's lived a life where she's experienced different characters and roles that she's played along the journey. And that's success. Because a lot of times we'll see, well, where I'm at now, I don't have this money, I don't have these things. But look at all that you've done in your lifetime, which shows you there's still much more that you can do. No matter your age, no matter your location, no matter your situation, you still have the ability. If you have air in your lungs and able to breathe, you still have the ability to create change in the world because you have that ability to change yourself.
Yup, yup. Wow. Yeah, that was just a lot of goodness. I mean, that's a big part of my own journey, like I think a lot of people have gone through that, just recognizing how you
Oh,
are.
Helen, yeah, you can come on now.
Yeah.
I didn't even see that. Mm.
Um,
Oh, is she removed from live video? No. I'll
just
go
go
live with
like,
Helen.
yeah.
I'll be having to make sure I hit the right buttons
Be like,
because.
block, oops.
Oh my God, I didn't even know you were blocked.
I am.
Hey, we
Hi,
didn't even see
Helen.
that comment. Hello.
Hi guys.
Happy
I looked.
Saturday.
I looked for you around 6 o'clock, but you weren't there. So
Yeah, it was more like 30
I
minutes.
just
Yeah.
I mean, I caught a lot of what you were talking about, but what's really, I just have to share what has been happening to me in regards to the work I've been doing because of this group
Mhm.
and Ray Mel. I have done some of the hardest things. I was always afraid and I thought I would never do it. And I've done it. And I am just completely and totally at peace. I mean, I have no anger. I have no resentment. I only have love, but I have me. Like I've looked at myself so many times, Angelique, in the mirror. I mean, you do it first. You do it because you're trying to find out who you are. Like you're trying to see like what's going on here. And then at some point you look at yourself and you go, "Who the hell is that?" Who is that? Like and I mean, I've been changing like really fast. Like all of a sudden I took off. I decided and made the decision, and there's I don't know that there's even sadness now from what I've learned. It was just a season in my life that doesn't align with me. That's the big word that I didn't know until you taught it to me. And so let go of that 42-year relationship. And that it was so much more than just that. It was attached to my childhood. It was attached to abandonment. It was attached to low self-esteem. Blah 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 blah. I know now what I'm willing to accept because I know what I'm about. I know who I am now. My problem is I'm procrastinating about the book. Like I'm right. At 3 o'clock in the morning I get ideas in my head, and then I forget about it. But it is going to happen, and I don't know, where it'll go, but something will happen with that. But more importantly, I feel now, this age thing that I always talk about. I feel like I'm where I should be, and I got this little job that I prayed for and nobody else wanted. And it fills me and the person I'm taking care of with such joy. That's it. That's it. I just realized that's my purpose. That's what I'm supposed to be doing. And I was underestimating how much I was doing it. Till I actually stopped and took a look at all the people that I'm in touch with in other states that, I text to keep in touch, but they'll get back to me because they need my advice from something that I've gone through. And that was it. I mean, it just kind of hit me, like a comment in the head the other day. And I said, that's it. This is what I'm about. I'm a good friend. I'm a really, really good friend. I'm a good woman. I was a good daughter. I mean, I'm a good person. So I just want to now exude that, you know, just not about me, but just those positive waves of energy, you know, and to have that, to be in a place where I normally would be very uncomfortable, you know, here alone at night, it's raining, blah, 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 blah. I feel fine, you know, and I met someone and I thought it was going to be really good. And then, you know, the program, that, you know, the group just popped into my head and I said, hey, wait a minute, what are you doing? This is the old you. This is not anywhere near my alignment. Are you crazy? You know, so I took care of that. And then I said to myself, Helen, you know, like, stay with the program, you know, because, and, you know, it's true. It's like wherever you go, you take it with you.
Yeah.
You know, wherever you go, you take you with you. And whatever baggage you have goes with you. You don't leave it behind because you move somewhere. You know.
Say that again, Helen, for the people in the back. You don't leave it behind. What?
Lord, I know that, you know. I mean, I moved to the ocean and I thought, oh, yeah, you know, well, all my shit came with me. You know, it's just like the first year was a honeymoon, so I wasn't thinking about any of it. And then reality hit, you know, but I can't say enough. I mean, to you know, God, the universe, for hooking me up with you guys, you know, and I think the next time I have the money for, which I know I'll have, to fly, I'm coming to LA to see you too.
Yes, please.
So, but yes, it's just amazing. Like I'm sitting here and normally I would be, oh, I'm so lonely. I'm sitting here, oh, thank God. I'm here. I have this peace. I have this quiet, this serenity in my head, in my body. I don't need another presence to make me happy. I'm happy all on my own. So, and it's always good to see you guys.
Me too. And I just celebrate your growth, Helen, because you are definitely, each time you come onto the live, I just feel like another layer just falls off of just old versions. I don't even want to label them, but just old versions of you fall off. And I just hear your power. I hear your love. I hear your growth. Because it's coming through you. It's neat to feel it and recognize it. You know, and then you just want to stay with it and let it continue to grow, you know. But someone said to me the other day, you don't have to go to work, do you? I said, no, I don't have to do anything. I choose to go because it brings me joy.
I get to. I want
you know, and it brings the person I take care of joy. I mean, this man, literally, his face lights up when I get to the door. I mean, it's a gift to me. It's a gift to me, you know. And
but I would even say, Helen, that's the energy you bring wherever you go. People light up when you walk in the room. So he's just something that you're able to consciously see. But I'm sure when you go to a convenience store, to the grocery store, when you walk into a space, because your light is your light. And your light shines. So I just would even say that is just something you radiate, so you bring into whatever space you're in.
Well, that's new, you know, but it's really, really neat. And yeah, I'm perfectly happy being who I am, where I am right now. And, you know, I do, you know, my thing is to stay in the moment, stay in the day. And not that it's any different any other time in your life, but when you're getting towards this end of the spectrum, you know, what's Bonnie Raitt? It's like in a nick of time. I mean, you know, it's precious. Time is precious, and it goes. You know, so I stay in the day, try to do the best in the day, and if need be, the moment, and be grateful. Just be so grateful for whatever it is that I do have. I don't even think about what I don't have, you know, because there really isn't anything I want but peace and serenity, and to, you know, bring that to other people. So,
yes,
I think I've talked enough.
We appreciate it. That was a beautiful share. I love to hear it. because I understand from my own story how it feels to be in chaos and dysfunction and also fear that loneliness. But then one day you find yourself being at peace. And it really is so good. It's so like, it's just like this rich, abundant feeling. You're just like, just like open, and
And now it
so
just seems so
wonderful.
easy, I mean, now it just seemed like I made it difficult. Like I could have gotten here sooner, but I wasn't supposed to. Certain things had to happen for me to get here. So I thought it was pretty neat, for my 72nd birthday, which I took myself out to lunch and sat by the ocean. I bought myself a huge bouquet, beautiful bouquet of flowers, and I felt absolutely good. You know how precious that is? I mean, that is precious. That is just so grateful. So grateful. I just sitting there all by myself, facing the ocean, feeling good, thinking about you guys, thinking about what I've been doing. And I thought, you know what? I'm going to buy myself some flowers too. And it was good. It was good. So yeah, but as we know, or at least I know, that whatever goes up comes down. And whatever goes down comes up. So you just got to be prepared to ride the wave.
And celebrate, Helen. Like, even in regards to the book creation, just hold space for patience with yourself because it's not something you're rushing, it's something you're allowing to come through you. And little, like, just inspirations when it comes, just follow the call because it's coming through you. And even the fact that you have been taking some form of action is celebration within itself versus just keeping it as a thought that you never do anything about. So that's just, I'm excited to hear what comes through you because you have a lot of life that you've lived and you have a lot more life to live, but the experiences you've had and testimonies will be someone else's breakthrough.
That's what I'm hoping.
Yes.
Man, I always interrupt. I'm sorry. It's terrible happening.
You don't interrupt. We appreciate you. We always, Helen, you're like a part of Helen conversation. So when we come on and we don't see Helen, we're like, okay, what's going on? But we always know that you will show up in some way, somehow, and just know that your presence is always appreciated.
I love you guys.
I
really do. I'm so thankful. So thankful.
We love you.
Okay, I'm done.
Okay, thank you, Helen.
Yes. I wanted to tap.
Am I supposed to do something?
We got you.
Okay.
I wanted to tap on what you were saying earlier about like not wanting things, but like allowing them, like we use the language of like wanting or desiring or, whatever. But when we really sit and allow ourselves to reflect on who we are and what wants to come through us, right? It's more of, like you were saying, it's something that already exists. It's more of becoming aware that we can allow it to exist. Instead of saying, like, I want to earn this much money in my business or sell this many copies of my book or have this many people join my program, it's being open to this is already happening in my business. This is already happening with my book. This is already happening in my bank account. And I am conscious now that I get to allow that to be now. So that was what was coming up for me. And I think that's a really important distinction. And it's something that I have been coming across recently myself. Oh, hey, Leah.
Hey, Leah.
Love you, girl. That's something I've been coming across myself more and more, just how everything is already in existence. So there is no like wanting or grasping or chasing. It really is an awareness that it is here, that it's already happening, and embracing and embodying that that's it. You know, there is no effort. And when I say effort, I mean like trying to come up with the idea or like make yourself do a thing or like struggle and fight and grind and hustle. That's what I mean when I say effort. Yes, there will be inspired action. You know, it's not just like we sit in the middle of a field somewhere and telekinetically everything just happens, you know. It's about allowing ourselves to kind of like Rima was saying, be open to what the universe is inspiring us to do, what spirit is putting on our heart to do, and knowing and trusting that when we get that call, when we get that pull, when we get that inspiration, that we'll have the energy and the resources to execute it because it's already there, it's already happening. It's just more so waiting for you to step into it. It's waiting for you to embrace it and just say, like, oh, this is my truth. And when we know something is true, we just do it. Like the people who have cars. Like, you know, when you sit in your car, it's gonna turn on. You know, if you turn the steering wheel to the left, you're gonna go to the left. You know, when you go to the refrigerator, it's gonna be cold. You know, when you step outside, there's gonna be air outside that you're breathing. Like we just know these things and we just do them. We know that when we go to put our shoes on in the morning, that we can put our shoes on in the morning, right? Like there are things that we have the capacity to trust and know that things exist, that situations are possible. And when it comes to what we see and what we are um, getting inspired to do, we have to trust and know that we have the capacity to do that, that the resources are there, that everything is already lined up and just waiting for us to take that action. So I just wanted to tap on that.
I love that you tapped on that. And I love that you mentioned the word embodiment, because that's where I think that's the missing piece when it comes to the form of action. A lot of people are still embodying that lower vibration, wanting higher vibrational things, wondering why they're not happening. So that's where the force, that's where the chase, that's where the resistance starts to keep the division of making it here and now and something that they're working towards. And until you are willing to become that vibrational match, you can't have those things as your physical reality. And that's where I think the biggest struggle, bless you, that people run into when it comes to the allowance piece, because they get impatient, they get discouraged, they start to lose hope and belief when they are doing all this action, taking all this action, but they're seeing the same results that they're producing. And the reason that is because vibrationally, that's where you're stuck. You're stuck in the doubt, you're stuck in the fear, you're stuck in the unworthiness and the disbelief. So life will always bring you what you are in alignment with vibrationally. And that's where, even in the embodiment of F right now in your physical reality, you're experiencing lack, you're experiencing chaos or commotion. You have the ability to tap into abundance. You have the ability to tap into peace, joy, prosperity. And it's not a physical thing. I think we get so lost in the senses of what we can see, hear, smell, taste, and touch, and that's what we determine as reality. But it's all giving us a sensation that comes from a vibration that we have access to here and now. So a lot of times, even affirmations, people is like, I can't connect to I am abundant, I am love, I am peace and prosperous when I don't see it. But that's the beauty of the mind, because what you say repeatedly over and over and over and over again, the mind has to receive. because the subject, now I'm only getting into a little teaching, but our subconscious mind, that's where our power lies, y'all. That's where the infinite possibilities, there's abundance of capabilities of what it can create, because there's no limit. The subconscious mind is never sleep. Even when we're in what we call a dream state, that's the subconscious mind just creating what it does when we're in our conscious state. But that's when we're more open to be like, we can be asleep in our beds in LA, but you're dreaming about you being in Shanghai, walking the streets, and it feels real. It looks real. You even can be eating something or tasting something, and it's so real because it is. Your subconscious mind created this whole illusion of a location, of a person, of a thing, and you're experiencing it. So there's no limit to where we have access to. There's no limit to what we can do, no limit to what we can create. But what limits us is the conscious mind. Because consciously, we are basing life on what we see, hear, smell, taste, and touch. And oh, I can't see that, so it can't happen. And when you say that and you think that, you're putting that into your subconscious, and the subconscious is like, well, let me create things to not make it happen. Because this is what you're telling me you want to be created. And that's where we're working against ourselves. So there is no person, there is no thing, even this lie that there is a devil. That devil don't want me to win. Kiki, I'm sorry if anyone who has that belief. Sorry to step on your toes, but I just gotta laugh at it. Oh, the devil's gonna get you. The devil is a lie. And it's like, when you realize that's you, whatever you wanna label, that's you. Because you're the one getting in your way. But even when we get lost in thinking it's something outside of us and we put this image of a villain so we can feel like the victor, you're really not winning anything, because you're stuck in this battle between yourself. And when you stop the fight and you start to love and embrace and accept yourself, that devil becomes one with the God that it is. You start to become one with the God that you are. And even that word is just a word. It's just a word, but we get lost in it. And I don't even know how this is coming through me, but I'm honoring it because it wants to come through. But in the reference to just in the sense of separation, meaning what we desire, what we want, the only reason why we want things is because we still don't feel like we have them. So you're in this chase of, even if you really think about it, I only want something because I feel like someone else has it and I want to experience what they're experiencing. If I really get to the depths of it, I want more money because I see someone who else has it, so I want to experience their life or experience their experience. I want love because I see someone else has it, so I want to have that experience. But when you get out of the separation, you're able to see like, well, I have access to that. There's love always around me. When I walk down the street and someone smiles, that's an act of love. When I go to the store and I'm able to buy something, that's a form of abundance. So in reality, we're living what we want and desire, but we're only wanting more because we're looking at someone else's life and thinking that that's how ours should be. And I can't recreate the next Beyonce. I can't recreate the next Jay-Z. I can't recreate the next athlete or whoever it is. Hey, Sarah, but I can intentionally, consciously create this character of Raymel and be the best damn version of him that I can be. And by being that, living that, doing that, by law, what I desire, all I got to do is hold the image in my mind, allow that feeling to drop into my heart, the here and now of it, because there is no separation from it. And by law, I just got to allow it to come to me. And it shall be done. So that's really what it is. We want to get to the place where we're emptying out all the garbage that we've been holding on to. And the garbage is the lies that we lack. We are in scarcity, that we're limited. the beliefs that those things are true, once I empty that from my field, then I'm floating in all the infinite possibilities.
Mm.
But it's those things that keep us in the wants, in the desires, in the separations, because we're still stuck in those limitations. So that's why this inner work is so powerful, because you're really doing the inner work to release. You must first release in order to allow new.
Mm.
And by law of the vacuum law, when you release anything, when you create space, whether you're walking on the beach and your footprint goes in the sand, and you walk up a little, that footprint that was once there, it's already filled with water and more sand.
Mm.
So it's as though you never even walked in it.
Mm-hmm.
Any empty space, the universe has to replace it with something new. But are you still stuck in holding on, hoarding, not allowing, but then stuck in this game of complaining about why you're not receiving and why the next person is? So it's really doing the inner work, releasing those old things and allowing new things to come in. And that's where you no longer desire or want. You just want to be that higher expression of yourself. And anything is literally like we're in the candy shop. Ooh, I want to experience that. Ooh, I want to experience that. So it even goes to not, I want that. I want to have that experience.
Mm.
That little shift of verbiage makes it not something that's outside of me. It's just like, I want to experience this in a physical form because it's already happening within me. So I just want to experience it outside of me.
Mm.
I want to get there because y'all want to get a whole another hour and a half if I don't stop.
Yes. Mm. Well, there was two things that I want to share before we wrap up because I know we're coming close to time. Um, as far as seeing other people's experiences and having that, oh, I want that feeling, a practice that I have taken up recently is blessing those experiences. So like if I see people holding hands or like walking down the street holding each other, I'm like, bless that. I love having love in my experience. Bless that. I see somebody driving a type of car that I like. I'm like, oh, bless them. You know, I'm sure you are enjoying that ride. Bless you. I'm so grateful that this is in my experience. And just really being mindful, like Raymond was saying, that my desire for that is being presented to me. I'm experiencing it now. It's just an external situation. But in reality, all of our things are external, you know, and it's a beautiful shift of perspective when we can look out at the world and instead of being like, man, I wish I could, being like, oh, that's in my experience now. That's in my experience now. And I bless the others who are experiencing what I'm experiencing, you know, and it does take some work, you know, it does take some internal work because we do get conditioned to like judge or envy or like compare. So like Ramel was saying, there are some things you gotta like unlearn and pull out your mind. You feel me? But once you really allow yourself to tap into that blessing and that love and that realization of what you are experiencing with your eyes is you actually experiencing it in your life. And the other thing that I wanted to share just real quick, um, I had a personal experience with the universe, God, spirit. I know we've been saying universe a lot this live, but just like that power, that source, um, bringing into my life something I desire. So I wear a ring on my finger to remind me to stay open to love and just to keep my heart open. And it's been an interesting lessons that I've been experiencing recently. But this most recent ring is 14 karat gold. And I had never had any type of like actual gold in my experience. Everything was like always like playing with gold or like gold painted, you know, like a stainless steel or some other mysterious thing that I had no idea what it was. But when I had my last ring that I know plenty of you have seen me, it had like the little crystal on it. I was like, I really want to get something of higher quality. You know, I feel like I'm feeling high quality. I'm feeling gold. You feel me? And so one day I was walking, I live downtown, and there's like the jewelry stores, and they have like the marts with all the boobs and stuff. And Spirit was just like, go in there next and see. You know, you got to take the step. This is the inspired action that I was talking about earlier. I got inspired to go into the store, and I asked this guy about it, and he was just like the super cool. I don't know what his ethnicity was, but some white dude with an accent, and he was just lovely. And he was like, "Yeah, I got this one. It's my last one with this style, and I'll charge you $100." I was like, "Bet." I didn't have the $100 then, but I was like, "Okay." And I walked out, and I was in this energy of just like, I know that this money is gonna come to me, and I just let it be. And maybe like 3 or 4 days later, this gentleman approached me about doing a design for a t-shirt. And he was like, how much are you gonna charge me for it? And you know, I did think about it for a little bit. You feel me? I wasn't just like, oh, $100. You know, I did think about it and I considered things. But I did end up just saying like $100, and he was like, okay. But then a day or two after that, somebody just randomly sent me $100, unprovoked, unasked for, just out of nowhere. And I was like, oh, God really wants me with this gold on. I was like, okay, heard and heard. And so I went and I got my ring. You feel me? And every time I look at it, I'm just so grateful because it is a quality piece of jewelry. And actually, when I went, the guy only charged me $98. So
I knew it was gonna be less.
I was
How much you
like,
probably pay after it?
so he gave me the little deal, and you know, again, just very pleasant gentleman, and I just really appreciated the whole experience of it. And it's because I was open to it, and it was a desire that I had. And it wasn't even like a, you know, we're talking about like wanting and that kind of energy. It wasn't even that. It was just like I know that higher quality is here for me. I just need to take the steps to receive it. And so I did that, and it happened. And I'm so grateful because it's just a beautiful testament that when you allow yourself to be open, when you allow yourself to receive, when you have your hands open, you get a ring on it. You feel me? And the universe will really guide you to where you need to be. And all of the resources, all of the energy, all of the people will be there to do so gratefully, gladly, happily. So yeah, I just wanted to share that because this is like a recent thing that happened to me, and I'm just like, this is a powerful this is a powerful moment of testimony, and it relates to what we're talking about today. But yeah,
I
you just
love
open
that.
yourself to it, and it happens.
I love that in so many ways because I love that because what that really was is showing others that it wasn't. I didn't have to force it. I didn't have to chase it. I didn't have to hustle and make it happen.
Mhm.
I literally
Didn't
just
have to
had to,
bargain and negotiate or fight like
and even hearing the
these.
amount, I
Yeah.
didn't have to go into, oh, I can find something cheaper. I can find something that is more in my price range. And that
Mhm.
was that challenge, that embodiment of I know that it's meant for me. I know that I
Mhm.
deserve to have it
Mhm.
and letting it be.
Yeah.
Literally letting it be. Everything that I have attracted that has just been so effortless and flow is something that I had a curiosity about. I just pondered on it and I let it go.
Mhm.
And just been into the action of the energy. And literally it comes whether I'm thinking about someone, thinking about a thing, thinking about a physical object. I wonder how that is. I wonder how they are. I wonder how it would be to have that experience and just let it go.
Mhm.
And literally, by law, that's where you don't have resistance, you don't have a fight, there's no hustle, there's no chase, there's just the allowance. And the allowance is hard. I think we may do alive on allowance. I feel like that
Yeah.
is what a lot of people struggle with and they need support with. And it will be a good space to hold to really speak through what people are staying locked in because they're not allowing it in. So I think that may be a good, maybe next week, we don't know. But
Yes, we appreciate you
we
all joining
appreciate
us
y'all.
today. It's been a really nice conversation.
Mhm.
I love being in person. And I believe we're still inviting people if you want to come in the LA
Yes.
area at the West Hollywood Library.
Pull up.
We got some chairs if you
We
want
got
to
chairs,
join
we got
us.
a space. We definitely, we're just flowing with it. Like this is building and we're just gonna let it expand to be what it's meant to be. But we thank y'all for tuning in. For those who are still here, thank you. Thank you, Leah, for tuning in. Thank you, Helen. Thank you, Omni. Um, B Sonics. Thank you, everyone, just for taking the time to share this space with us. And just remember, take a moment, reflect on your growth because where you are now is not where you were in the past. And for that, celebrate. And that's how you're able to move to be pulled to where you're meant to be. We love y'all and we will see y'all next Saturday. Wait. Did you do it?
I did it last time when I was talking to
Y'all, we over here. Where the hearts? Where the hearts? Y'all know what we talking about. Love y'all. Bye.
Bye.
Over here throwing no gang signs. Showing you.